Hey, how's it going? This is Melinda and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be discussing the most expensive or the highest valued records in my collection according to Discogs. I've seen other people do this kind of video. I thought it would be really interesting. I don't really pay a lot of attention to Discogs, only when I'm entering in new records, because I do like keeping track of my collection and entering each record into Discogs. However, when I saw other people using Discogs to determine their most expensive records in the collection and what they're selling for, I thought it would be really interesting. And I'll just let you know, I'm doing not the highest selling. I will mention that occasionally. But really, for my collection, I'm going for what the median price is, the average price. And the reason why I'm doing this is I didn't really buy any of these records for collectible reasons. I bought them to play. They're all opened, so I'm making the assumption that the records that sell for the highest are probably mint, steel sealed copies. So that wouldn't be mine. Mine are in excellent condition. I take very good care of them, but they're played and loved. So therefore, I'm just going to be discussing the average cost of each record, and I might throw in a little bit of the high numbers if I think it's interesting or what have you. I'm in a little bit of a different area of my house. I'm in the movie room today. I just thought it'd be fun to change up the scenery. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe. I really appreciate your support. It really does help me out. And let's go ahead and get started with the records. At number 10, the movie soundtrack Twilight. And this is something that I just kind of bought. I think it was like $14. I was at a store that wasn't even necessarily a record store. They do have some vinyl in there, but it's mainly just one of those stores that people bring old like PlayStations and it's like a gaming store, used games. But they had this there. My daughter loved the movie. We watched it a lot when she was in middle school. So I thought it would be a lot of fun. There's some really cool songs on here. This particular copy has a gatefold and some posters in it. And there is another copy of it that doesn't have a gatefold or posters, but it's selling for just as much or more as this one. And this one, on average, sells for $174. And it has gone for as much as $218. So it's a pretty expensive record, and I didn't really expect it to be. The last time it sold was for $213. So I thought that was a really cool little find, Twilight. At number 9 is David Bowie and the Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. And this particular copy is the original master recording by Mobile Fidelity. I got this record on eBay for a double-digit price because there was some candle wax on the back. And just 10 minutes and a fingernail, just taking the wax off, and I got a record in really good condition. This one on average sells for $194. It is sold for as much as $290. Probably a sealed copy, I'm assuming, but this is a really good record. I really enjoy it. It's one of my favorites in the collection, and I do play this one and enjoy it. But it's cool to know that it's worth a little bit of money. This is my only still sealed one I'm going to be showing. It is the Mobile Fidelity One Step Marvin Gaye, What's Going On. I got it over the summer. I just haven't been able to open it yet. I'm going to. It's not that I want to keep it for collector's sake. I want to enjoy it. I just haven't been able to open it yet. And it has sold for, on average, $198. It has sold for as much as $270. But, you know, I would say probably what drives up the cost is the low numbers. My particular copy is 5,757 out of 7,500. So not a really remarkable low number. That might also drive up a cost of a record, is when you have a low number. So that one is at number 8. At number 7 is a personal favorite of mine. One of the ones I was very excited to find. It was one I wanted. It's Michael Jackson's History, Past, Present, and Future Book 1. And I thought this was a very cool one. I had the CD. I bought it when it came out. Back in the day, I was a huge fan of Michael Jackson. I really think if it wasn't for just some things about Michael Jackson that are a little controversial, this would actually be worth more money. It has sold as much as $225, but most of the time it goes for $199. It's a 3 LP set, and what makes it unique is 3 sides of it are his greatest hits. The other 3 was his album History that came out in about 1995, I think. It also has a really cool booklet with it. So I love having this in the collection, and it's worth a little bit of money, and I personally just think it's really cool to have. This next record is a very common record. However, this version of it must not be very common because it's worth some money. This is Eagles, Hotel California, and this, again, an original master recording by Mobile Fidelity. And this one, on average, sells for $239. It has, the highest it has sold for is $394. I'm assuming that's probably a sealed copy. And, you know, this one goes all over the place. It's a little hard to really determine what the value is according to Discogs. You know, the person that has their copy for sale right now, a sealed copy, they're wanting $600 for it. And it has sold for $140. I believe that's the last price it sold for. So it's just really all over the place. But I would say because of the average, it showed up as number 6 on my highest valued records at $239. And this is a wonderful one. I love this. I play it often and enjoy it very much. This next record, it's a sentimental record for me. It really is very special. It's the most expensive record that I personally have ever paid. I'm not including my husband and Christmas presents I've received. This is just the most I have shelled out for one LP, but it was well worth it. This is Van Halen's A Different Kind of Truth. Came out in 2012, and I didn't buy it at the time. I should have. I should have supported Van Halen. I love them. They are my favorite band of all time. But so I had to buy this about a year and a half ago, and I paid $175 for it. Still sealed. Well, it is all around going on average for $250. It sold for $250 the last time it sold. I think it was, anyway, just a really good record. I like this one a lot. It doesn't get the love that the earlier Van Halen albums get, but I think it's fantastic. And now more than ever, it is so near and dear to my heart that I'm so glad I picked it up when I did. But honestly, I think I would still have to pick it up even if it cost me $250. I'm still just reeling over the loss of Eddie. I'm just so sad to know he's not here anymore. I adored him. So this is a great one to have. And I believe all copies of it came on red vinyl. So I'll just show you that because I thought it was really pretty. So love having this in the collection. A wonderful record. And I would just kind of say also about this one, I feel like this is a final gift that we got in different circumstances. Maybe David Lee Roth and the rest of the members of Van Halen, maybe they didn't reunite. This may have never been made, so I feel so thankful that it was. And now at number 4 is a record I recently got as a Christmas present, Kiss Symphony. This is the 2003 version, and my copy, let me get these records out of here. Yeah, my copy is number 2,963 out of 10,000. Not a remarkable number, not extremely early. This one on average sells for $262. It is sold for as much as $609, which is insane. It's probably a really low number, maybe a promo copy, although that probably wouldn't show up in Discogs that way. The lowest it is sold for is $175, or at least that's the one has sold for that much. So, it's just kind of one of those that's kind of all over the place. And I would say sealed copies, and I bought mine. Mine was sealed, but I have opened it and played it. Sealed copies sell for more. Lower numbers probably sell for more. It's just a good record to have. I didn't buy it to keep sealed as a collectible. I really wanted to play it and enjoy it, and I have been. So at number 4 for $262 on average, Kiss Symphony. At number 3 is another Van Halen album, and this is Balance. I was so thrilled to get this one as a Christmas present. a couple of years ago. I really love this album. This is my favorite by far with Sammy Hagar. I adore this album. And this one, on average, now sells for $290. The last one sold for $500. And I'm glad I got mine before Eddie passed away. I'm sure that is what's driving that cost up to $500. You know, I'm really hoping that they do some reissues for these albums. They desperately need them. Great box sets. You know, honestly, I'm sure his son is the one that's going to be making some of those decisions. He's probably not thinking about this kind of stuff right now. He just misses his dad. So, you know, I just love having this. I cherish these Van Halen albums now more than ever. So really happy to have that one in the collection. At number 2 is the one I thought would be number 1. The number 1 album is still very shocking to me. But this one, I knew it would be high. I just expected it to be number 1, but it's number 2. And it is the Beatles, Yesterday and Today, and this is what they call the mono version of the Second State Butcher cover. So a long time ago, they made a cover for this album that was very controversial. So it got an instant backlash. There were very few that were sent out and sold. But they went ahead and because of the controversy and because people were really upset over the cover, they pasted this cover over it. A really boring, but I like it. It's not bad. Just a very boring picture. But underneath this particular copy is what they call the Beatles Butcher cover. And if you look right here, you can see Ringo's V-neck turtleneck shirt under here. If this was to be peeled, and a lot of people have peeled these albums, it reveals the Beatles Butcher picture, which is very disturbing. It's like baby dolls and meat. It's just a really weird cover. But anyway, so these, because they're rare and hard to find, they're expensive. If you have the stereo version of this, it's worth even more. I have 2 copies, and they're both mono versions, and they are not what I would call in mint, near mint. I would say they're maybe in very good condition, one of them just being in good condition. I found these for bargains. In fact, I've left the price tag on here, $30. Found it at a record store and about hyperventilated. Bought it as fast as I could and ran out of the store. You know, I got a really good deal. This on average sells for $333.33, but it's went as high as $1,200. And I'm sure if you still have one that's in shrink, you know, that's the $1,200 version, not mine. But it's very cool to have. It last sold for $495 on Discogs. I'm very honored to have 2 copies of this. These are just really cherished collectibles for Beatles fans, and I really love them. And I didn't pay that much money for either one of them, so I'm just very happy to have these in the collection. And now my number 1 record. This is the one. I am absolutely shocked that this one is as expensive as it is. So let me go ahead and get right to it. This is Barry Manilow's Greatest Hits. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Of course, this is not. But you know what? As far as money and what things are worth, Barry Manilow can probably laugh at this joke because he's worth millions. And this record sold millions. So just wanted to put a little funny one in there. So I'm sorry. Let's go ahead into the number 1. And honestly, this is not much of a difference. Barry Manilow would have been the shocker. This is shocking to me. Taylor Swift's 1989. This is the most expensive record in my collection. And I'm not talking about records like box sets. I do have more expensive box sets. This is a single record, and I bought it on Record Store Day back in 2018. It was just something I bought, kind of an impulse buy. I was at Record Store Day because I wanted the Rolling Stones, their Satanic Majesty's Request reissue that was on splatter vinyl. That's what I was there for. But I saw this and it piqued my interest. This is my favorite album by Taylor Swift. And I was absolutely stunned to find out that this is the #1 highest valued record I have on average. It sells for $365. It has sold for as much as $488. Right now, if you want to buy it, the starting price is $450. Very shocking to me. Obviously, mine is not going to be the highest selling. And why? Mine's open. I played it. I didn't buy it because I thought it was going to be a huge collectible. You know, this might be one of those rare exceptions where I wish I had left it closed up and sealed. However, I will say I do have something very cool going on about my record. It's opened, it's not sealed, it's been played a couple of times, but I have copy number 14 out of 3,750. So I do have a low number going for me here. And it's just something that they did for Record Store Day. They put it in on 2 LPs and they made it on colored vinyl. So let me just show you what the vinyl looked like. So that one was one that really took me by surprise. And I'm going to show you a few more of the Taylor Swift records because all of these Record Store Day Taylor Swift records have been going for really ridiculous prices, you know, at least $200, you know, $150, you know, and they're all about $30, $35 when they came out. This is another heavy hitter that's high up there. It didn't make my top 10, but, you know, it sells for probably about $200. This is her debut album, Taylor Swift. And my copy is number 142 out of 3,750. So again, a low number, not as shockingly low as the other one, but it's on a really beautiful blue vinyl. And I'm not the biggest Taylor Swift fan at all. I just thought, you know, these were really cool looking. I loved the colored vinyl at the time. I just decided, you know what, had a little extra money. I picked them up and I'm really glad I did. You know, these are really good records. Here's another one that sells for a lot of money. Fearless. This was one that really made her break out into the stratosphere. Just a really cool one. And also Red, when she started making that little transition into pop with some really cool songs that were more into pop. And also Speak Now. All of these Taylor Swift Record Store Day records are pretty expensive and the values keep going up. So those are my most valuable records that I own, the top 10. I would love to know what you have that, you know, you either value through emotions and love for the album or what the value is monetarily. I think the most important, of course, are the records we cherish and listen to the most and enjoy, the ones that bring back the most memories for us. So that is my video for the week. Please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.